In this month's show, we take an in-depth look at the latest news in influencer marketing. AdSecure releases 3 new platform features, and we talk to Bryan McDonald, ExoClick's head of compliance, about ensuring a good end-user ad viewing experience. You're watching The Additive, the show that brings you all things AdTech. Hello and welcome to the show. Now, the new State of Influencer Marketing 2020 report is out now, and you can download it from the URL below. Now, the results come from a survey of more than 4,000 brand marketeers that are using influencer marketing. Now, here's a couple of highlights. The estimated market value for influencer marketing spend has risen year on year, and this year it's expected to be worth $9.7 billion. A second takeaway are micro-influencers and nano-influencers. Now, micro-influencers, they are content creators with maybe 10,000 to 100,000 followers. The even smaller nano-influencers have maybe 1,000 to 10,000 followers. But these two groups have consistently got the best engagement rates, especially on Instagram. So that makes them really interesting to brand marketeers who are showing more interest in these small reach influencers, especially for niche communities, versus so-called mega influencers with 1 million or more followers. Now, with TikTok, these are having a much better engagement. In fact, TikTok is becoming a bit of a game changer in influencer marketing, with the app being the most downloaded app on Apple and Google app stores in 2019. And interestingly, among the countries with the most installs were India at 34% and Brazil at 10%. A further driver of the app's success have been the potential earnings a TikTok creator is expected to earn per post. Now, Instagram or YouTube tend to reward those who already have a celebrity status, such as a Kardashian, for example, whereas TikTok is based on ordinary young people monetizing their entertainment talents. Now, the most popular TikTok influencer is Lauren Gray, who has 35 million followers and makes an estimated $175,000 per post by posting sponsored videos from brands. Now, researchers at the UK games company Online Casinos claim that TikTok is growing so fast in popularity that some influencers might even be able to charge nearly $1 million per post by 2021. So it looks like I'm in the wrong job and I'm going to join TikTok. Now on to ad security, and our friends AdSecure have released 3 new platform features. The first feature is Ad Discovery, which is an entirely new way to continuously monitor all ads on web and mobile site pages for malicious threats and poor quality user experiences. Now, the feature provides insight into the complete visitor journey from the point that they arrive on the site, the engagement with the ads that they encounter, and finally where they go post-click. Now, beyond the safeguarding of users, Ad Discovery also looks at the greater context of an ad's placement on the page, providing brand safety and ad quality insights. Feature 2 is called Threat Intelligence, and it provides insights regarding a specific URL's ongoing violation activity. So, if an advertiser is using a landing page URL that has a record of violations, AdSecure clients will get an aggregated risk assessment score detailing how problematic the behavior of a particular URL will be. And the third one is the Permission API. Now, as a new user experience detection, this lets clients know when ads on their sites want to know the location of a visitor, access their camera, or even send a push notification request, which can be really annoying for the end user. You can see more information about these new features at adsecure.com. Ad compliance is vitally important for any ad network to protect publishers and, of course, end users. I'm here with ExoClick's head of compliance, Bryan McDonald, to find out more about the subject. Hi, Bryan, and welcome to The Additive.
Hi, Giles. Thank you for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure. And you're going to take us into the world of compliance. So tell me, how does ExoClick ensure that all ad campaigns are compliant on its network?
Well, first of all, the compliance team that we have, a dedicated group of individuals, work on a 24/7 basis, so 24 hours per day, 7 days per week, to ensure maximum security for our publishers and end users.
So they're checking that manually then, I guess?
Yes, exactly. So they do a lot of manual checks on every single ad campaign that comes through the network. They check banner images, they check URLs, they check the end landing pages and offers, all the marketing material of the advertiser at the end, and the product itself. We review these against the guidelines and rules that we have on our website, which is largely set upon by the industry standards as well.
Okay. And do you use any automation features as well?
Yes, I mean, everything that goes live in the system, we make sure that's regularly checked, and we use automated systems to do this. AdSecure is one of the tools that we actually use, and they constantly assess every single URL and landing page that flows through the network for any issues that may come across post-campaign approval.
Of course, because I guess advertisers could maybe change their creative while the campaign is running and stuff, so with AdSecure there as well, and obviously manual checks, I guess you catch those.
Exactly. It's a two-pronged system. So we have the manual checks to make sure everything flows good on submission, and we have the automated system to check what's happening after everything's been approved by the team.
So I've heard a lot about misleading elements in ad creatives. What are they?
Well, before we actually go into that, it's important to kind of look over the history of where this term actually came from. Around 2-3 years ago, Google banded together with Better Ads Coalition to kind of review the types of advertising that are predominantly circulating through the internet. One of the most apparent issues that came through this was a lack of user experience. So this was one of the objectives, is to improve this.
Yeah.
Essentially, what they were looking for was to kind of get rid of the ads out there that are decepting users.
Such as what?
If you take a banner image, for instance, a banner image could have a fake close option or a fake X option in the corner.
Okay, for the close button for the
Exactly.
user.
So when a user actually goes to click on one of these options, the ad doesn't close at all. So it's essentially fake. The ad will just stay there completely.
So if, sorry to interrupt, but if they clicked on it then, would they go directly to a landing page?
That's right. They would go straight to the ad anyway.
So instead of closing the ad, they'd still go to the landing page anyway.
And that goes against the user experience.
Of course, yeah.
If you want to click on something, you would expect that button to do something at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's the same when it comes to an image that kind of imitates a video player. Think of a streaming site. So when this type of banner creative is running on a streaming site, for instance, it looks like it's part of the site.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you click on play on that video, on that banner image, there's no videos going to play actually completely. Again, you just go through to the end landing page, and again, it's against the user experience. The play button does nothing, essentially. The third example, which is probably one of the most common ones circulating through the industry, is what we call scareware, fake virus ads. These are done to trick users into believing that they have an X amount of viruses on their device. Essentially, this is an ad. It's not scanning your device for any issues or any viruses at all. The most likely outcome is you have no issues at all with your device.
Okay.
Essentially, it's just designed to scare and trick that user into believing that there's something wrong, to click through the ad and install an app that they don't really want at the end of the day.
So I guess ExoClick doesn't allow any misleading elements on its ad network?
No. We would like to align ourselves with the industry standards, with Google, with the Better Ads Coalition ourselves. So we took a decision a long time ago to not accept these kind of deceptive techniques at all.
Well, Bryan's actually written a blog post all about that, which you can see in this URL down here. So say I'm an advertiser and, I don't know, one of my ads had a misleading element in there, for example, so you block my campaign. How do I say, okay, I've changed my creative to something acceptable? How do I get back on the ad network?
Well, the most important thing is to discuss it with us. So you can go to ExoClick.com, hit one of the compliance options that are on a contact form, and simply send us an email. If you're not sure why it was rejected, we'll clarify that for you and give you some tips on what to do to solve the problem.
And then they go through the process again, I guess, with the manual checking the compliance, with the auto-scanning, etc., to ensure that the campaign's good.
Yes, and once everything's 100% correct in terms of our guidelines and the rules, and the campaign will be approved back on the system and get things live and running again as quickly as we possibly can.
Perfect. Well, thank you for that advice, Bryan, and thank you for the chat as well. It's given us a bit more insights about compliance. And that wraps up the show for this month. So all I've got to say is, until next time.